Hey everybody, this is Gina Rodriguez from the movie Go For It, and you're listening to Harv Roman, Chicago's WCGO 1590 AM, as well as www.wakeupdancing.com. Every day, and let me tell you, I was super proud. I was proud to represent my culture, represent Chicago talent, and of course, you know, make my parents proud. They loved to see me dance, and Fantasia Juvenil is where I started dancing, over in Craig Park, like Fullerton and Cicero area, and then Los Soneros del Swing. When I got older, I got to a bigger group, an older group, where I was dancing with older adult dancers, and I was traveling with them, doing all the World Salsa Congresses in Puerto Rico and California and New York, and it just really opened my eyes to see that, yes, this is where I come from. Yes, this is what started my talent. This is what, you know, fed my fuel, fed my fire, but there's so much out there that I can conquer, and Chicago made me strong to do that. My parents, you know, Genaro Rodriguez, Magali Rodriguez, my grandmother, Abuelita Edith, I love you so much, my sisters, just fierce Latinas. I just was surrounded by such strength, and because of dancing, because I was able to perform at such a young age, it opened my eyes to not only just the world, but my passion and the love of my life, and that is acting, and that is art in general. And as much and as any possible way I can express it or do it, I'm there and I'm doing it. And the best thing about Go For It, a beautiful movie that I'm a part of, it is about following your dreams. It is about a girl that grew up in Logan Square, that was a dancer, that wanted to get out and be somebody huge, and it just felt like her dreams were bigger than herself until she realized that she had the strength within her to do it. And Go For It is beautiful. We got to shoot in Logan Square, in Humble Park, in Bushwick, in in Wicker Park, there we go, in Bucktown. We have to shoot in so many different locations in Chicago, and it was just beautiful to go back home, and now that we're bringing the red carpet back to Chicago, it's just so apropos, and it's just a dream come true, Harv. It is a dream come true of mine. If I wanted the red carpet to be anywhere, I wanted it to be back home in Chicago. Let them know how much we love them, and let them know how much we're representing them outside of Chicago.
That'll be your next YouTube footage, where you pan from the flags of steel on Division Street and Western Avenue, and then pan over to Clemente, and then you show the red carpet and everybody that's coming out from the hood to represent and talk about the girl from us, the girl that came from here and did some really good work, including Go For It. And it did film, if I remember right, it actually did screen at the past Latino Chicago Film Festival. I think it did screen a couple of times.
Did, and let me tell you, that was the first dream come true. Coming back home and being able to screen at the AMC River East downtown with all my family and all my friends was just such a blessing. And now that Lionsgate, Pantaleon Films, an amazing distribution company, Pantaleon Films, you know, to distribute Latino films, an initiative to distribute mainstream Latino films. Let me tell you what a big thing that is for us. And to know that Chicago and Go For It is a part of that movement, a part of that Latino movement, I mean, I can't ask for anything more. I can't ask for anything more, and I feel so humbled. I feel so appreciative that you guys accept me and claim me, because let me tell you, I do the same on my end, and it just feels so good to know that you guys got my back.
So initially, was Go For It an independent film, and it was just going to be limited release, and then we'll see what happens with it, and then Lionsgate picked it up? Is that how it worked?
Yeah, Go For It was a super independent film. This Latina director was in Tech High School, grew up in Logan Square. You know, the story is loosely based off of her story and the different stories that she gathered as a guidance counselor. She worked on this film for 10 years, put all her own money into it, and she bred it out of her own love and her own heart and blood, sweat, and tears. To be able to accomplish something like that is huge, and to be able to go back home with it, oh my God, that's even bigger for Carmen. But yeah, this movie was, a lot of people like to tell us that it wasn't supposed to see the light of day, but I always knew in my heart that we had a message, we had a strong Latino cast, we had so much heart that it had to have gotten distribution. Like, there was no way the world was not going to be able to see this movie. So after we did the film festival circuit, there were lots of people, you know, trying to bite at the film, and Carmen, how lucky we are. Carmen went with Pantaleon Films, Lionsgate, and Televisa to distribute our film, and we have been super blessed because of it. And now the whole world on Friday the 13th will be able to see our work, our heart, the way Chicago runs stuff, the way Chicago breeds talent, and what we can do and what we can show the world, that Latinos we're 50 million plus now, pa. There's no laying back on us. There's no snoozing on us now.
And how cool was it to be able to work with Amy Garcia, who, one of her first films, I don't know if you remember the film called Chicago Boricua?
Chicago Boricua. It was amazing to work with Amy. When I saw her in Chicago Boricua, she also did the work with my friend Ramses Jimenez.
Right, I know him.
Yes, I love Ramses, a dear, dear friend. Both of them I love dearly, and I respect both of them for their art and their brilliance and their hearts. Both Chicago-based actors. When I knew I was working with her, I was, ecstatic, you know? And not to mention, I loved her work prior to working with her George Lopez and all the, you know, different indie films that she had done, Graduation. I mean, she had done so much work. She is definitely we're very, very proud to have her. And I was very, 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 very lucky to have worked with her. She was humble and wonderful and a great, great woman to watch work. Well, it was pretty incredible. Well,
the neat thing is, you go back a couple of years, and Freddie Rodriguez was able to do a very big production of Nothing Like the Holidays with John Leguizamo and a whole bunch of other character actors that everybody knows. And so Freddie Rodriguez was able to get this big production here, and then between you and Amy Garcia, you have another big production here. So now it seems like we're at the point where Chicago-based people have enough pull where they could say, you know where you could film something? You probably could go to my hometown.
Yes. You know what we're hoping to, the message that we're hoping to get across, not only with Go For It, but with movies like Nothing Like the Holidays as well, and all the other movies that Pantaleon is distributing, from Prada to Nada, No Eres Tú Soy Yo. What we're hoping to get across is not only can Chicago do it, but Latinos all over the country can do it. We can all do it. You know, if I could do it, yeah, shoot, everybody could do it 10 times better, let me tell you, because I came from a very humble background, no connection to the industry, you know, not very much understanding of the industry to support me. So I went into this world a little cold, a little harsh, you know, and a little scary, but I gave it my all, and I brought that Chicago hustle, and you know, I'm living a dream. I'm living a dream. Hi, my name is Carmen Marron. I'm the writer, director, producer of Go For It, and you're listening to Harv Roman.
Let's say you were just sitting in the audience and nobody knew that you were the writer and that you were the person that put this all together. What did you see when you were looking at these young people reacting to your movie?
Oh, well, it's always nerve-wracking, with any audience, because you wonder. I spent so many years on this. I in my mind, I always think, is anyone going to connect? I mean, and I have to take that chance, even if nobody does connect. I have to go through with this. So I always have the nerves. But when we screened, particularly at Clemente, but before they started the movie, I thought, oh gosh, this is a rough crowd. These kids are a little rough, Their attention span is not very strong, and they were very busy texting, and they're loud. And I thought, I don't think that this movie's going to capture their attention, because it has like this, it's a lesson in there somewhere. So I wasn't sure how much they were going to like it, if they were going to get bored. And then it was playing, and they were really into it. They were reacting to some of the characters. Some of them were even like yelling at a character on the screen. And then at the end, when they called us down, the actors and myself, to come down for a Q&A, the audience gave us a standing ovation. And I honestly, my knees just like got so weak.
Wow, but that's not surprising, because you could go, scene to scene in this movie, and you'll notice somebody that you recognize, not necessarily the actor, but the character or the job. I mean, Gina's job, she was a cashier for a minute, and again, a lot of their first jobs for these kids are cashiers, and a lot of these kids do end up arguing with counselors and principals and having attitudes, and a brother who has all the answers but doesn't have a job. So they
exactly.
That's the thing that I kept going back to. I says, you can relate to everybody in this film, and if that was your intention, I think you've empowered a lot of people. And whether or not, the ones who had written a lot of the reviews that I didn't necessarily liked it or not, I like the idea that you were empowering so many with your story. I mean, there's a message to it. It wasn't just a dance and a battle. There was a message. I even went so far as to make note of the older, I guess she was like the leader of the dance crew. I don't remember her name, forgive me.
Yeah, Loli.
But I'm looking at her, and I also looked at the other character, Amy's character, and I'm thinking, you know what? Amy's probably saying to herself, I don't want to be that 35-year-old who's still dancing by the monument. I want to make something of myself. And then the 35-year-old who's still trying to coach dancers at the monument, she's peaked out. And there are a lot of people like that, where they never get out of high school, even though they're 35, 40 years old.
Yeah, that's exactly my point. I'm so glad you said that. That makes me feel so good, because I was like that. How many of you remember a time when you're in high school and you're looking up to someone that you think is like the coolest person in the neighborhood, and then when you grow up you realize, man, I was really looking up to a loser? But back then, you really felt like you wanted to be like them. And I was the same way. I was like, man, I want to be like these people. And then as I was getting older and I'm going through college and everything, I'm like, man, why didn't they go to college? Man, why didn't they really focus on a career? Man, why are they still doing the same things that I stopped doing 5 years ago, and they're 10 years older than me?
Well, that's the one I came out of it, because I would see like little flashbacks, and I just had a feeling that this older character is not gonna, she just cannot be the mentor for the Amy Garcia character, because Amy would have been 35 and doing this movie.
Yeah.
Talk about what motivated you then, because growing up in Logan Square, you were probably surrounded by people that they stereotyped you. You're not going to be able to do this. You're not going to be able to do that. Chances are, if you're from the square and if you wound up going to Clemente or Van Steuben, whatever the school is, this is going to be your role in life. And you wound up flipping the script. So